Hi, this is Alec Pacella. In the early days of the pandemic, I did a video from my front office because at that time, this is about a year ago, it was starting to become really apparent that we were all going to be spending a lot of time in our home offices working from home and being stuck on endless webinars and Zoomers and GoToMeetings. So I got a lot of comments on that and several requests for an update to see what I'm doing, if I'm doing anything differently here. And I made some enhancements. So I thought I'd take a few minutes today to talk about some of the technology enhancements that I've made in my home office. So here we are, I'm going to spin around here. So here's Mission Control, or my home office. I am running 3 screens. So we got a big 24-inch screen here, 24-inch screen on the other side, and then those flank in the center. This is my primary screen, my primary computer. This is a MacBook Pro that I use. So I have my presentation or whatever I'm doing usually right there on the front, so I'm looking right into it. So one of the things that I switched, was instead of using a freestanding camera, I used the camera that's part of the MacBook Pro. This has a really good camera, so unless I'm ready to spend $1,000 to get a better camera, this thing's pretty darn good. But the problem that you run into is if it's on the ground or if it's on the desktop, you run into that effect, right? And I think we've all seen that effect. So one of the enhancements that I made is this little laptop stand, little riser it's called. Great enhancement because now that camera is right at eye level. So if I'm talking at the camera, you're not looking up my nose, you're seeing kind of right at eye level. Makes a nice enhancement. Another thing that I did was these babies. So right here's one, and then over here is another one. So these are uplights. So here in the North Coast, December, it gets dark like 4:30. So those late afternoon that sometimes stretch into early evening sessions, meetings, whatever it is, gets really dark in here. And there's just not a lot of light. I mean, I have a lot of windows. You can kind of see as I spin around here in the front office, a lot of windows, but those really work against me in the evening. And even in a day like today that's overcast, it really has that shadowing effect. So these really have made a big difference in appearance of, kind of facial appearance. It's an indirect light, so a lot of times you may have seen those ring lights. So this is different. This kind of bounces up off the ceiling, and as a result, it's a more natural, kind of a softer light. Really works well. I think they were like $40-45, well worth the price. Talked about my Yeti, my trusty Yeti Blue here. It's a great thing. I have it on a stand, so I'm able to you can kind of see my stand here, my arm, so I'm able to kind of move it up and over. Really nice enhancement, really helpful. Tremendous sound quality for, I think this is $120, worth every penny. The last thing I want to talk about is background. So you can kind of see behind me, I have shelving. So I actually built these shelving like 12 years ago. So in case the real estate career ever goes in the tank, I guess I can become a finished carpenter. But these have made a really nice difference in what's behind you. I've read several articles and tips and tricks of background. And a lot of them say if you can have a bookshelf, and it doesn't have to be anything as elaborate as this, even if you have just a plain wall, simple couple shelves, IKEA, Target, couple bookshelves, put some books on there, can make a tremendous difference. Some artwork, couple candles, whatever. Now I'm sounding like interior design guy, but it really does make a difference instead of just looking at a bare blank wall behind you. So gang, those are some of my tips and tricks and enhancements. It's been a long road, but getting, I don't know, pretty comfortable here. So now you've seen what I see at PVC. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Wonderful weekend ahead. Thanks.